The league is horrified of this. Something massive is brewing with the Mets, and everyone should definitely be paying attention. The Mets are primed to push the Phillies for first place. What a comeback win tonight versus the Orioles. Let's get excited. I am Adam Choit, your host for today on Mets Digest. But before we dig in, I want to just give you guys a quick reminder to please click subscribe, because as you can see, nearly 70% of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed. So please do that. It is definitely appreciated for sure. So let's get into it. What a comeback for the Mets tonight. What a comeback win. They were down 6-2. They won the game 7-6. I'm sure everyone watching this video is still celebrating and enjoying the victory. What a great team win all around. And that's going to be a theme that I'm going to be repeating throughout this video. The theme of it being a great team victory. As you can see there's the post on X from the Mets. What a comeback win, 7-6 on the road in Baltimore. There's the team celebrating the W on the field. This is becoming more and more of a familiar sight. The kick celebration, the on-the-field celebration with the team after the game. What a great victory it was indeed. Here's a quote from Carlos Mendoza. That was a hell of a win there. Simple, right to the point, and I definitely agree with him. That's per SNY. Let's dig into some of the heroes from the game, because there were many heroes. There were several heroes. We can actually debate who was the MVP of the game, who was the hero of the game, because there's definitely some room for conversation there. So let's get into that. Here is a quote from Anthony DiComo covering the team for MLB.com. This is going to be all about Juan Soto and his contribution, because he did go 3 for 3, continues his hot hitting. If this is Juan Soto's way of showing his displeasure at missing out on the All-Star game, he's making a rather compelling case. In his first game since learning that he won't be playing in the Midsummer Classic, Soto collected 3 hits Tuesday at Camden Yards, including a go-ahead single in the 10th inning of the Mets' 7-6 win over the Orioles. It was a single up the middle. The Mets were trailing by 4 runs entering the 8th inning until Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso each hit a 2-run homer to tie things. 2 innings later, Soto ripped the first pitch he saw from Yennier Cano into center field for the go-ahead single. That was the ghost runner scoring for the Mets. Yeah, just so many great moments, and he was referring to a few of those right there. The home runs in the 8th inning really turned the game around. But there were things happening in the game that were very crucial and that were turning points even before then, and we'll get into those. But I want to just personally, I know Michael had touched on this topic already, but just to mention how badly and how much the league and the fans and whoever's making these all-star game decisions and roster choices were when it came to omitting Juan Soto from the all-star game. This man is definitely deserving, and he's continuing to prove it and show it every single day of this season, especially this last 6 weeks or so, where he's just been red hot. His hot streak is continuing right into July. The man is hitting, he came into tonight's game 964 OPS in July and had 3 hits, so you can only imagine what that is like. So he's just continuing his red hot streak. And I have another quote here about Juan Soto from Anthony DiComo continuing his piece following the game tonight. Soto, who has not missed an all-star game since his first full season in 2019, finished 3 for 5 with 3 singles, a run scored, and an RBI. He does still have a chance to make it to Atlanta, but would need another outfielder to drop, something that became more likely on Tuesday when the Braves scratched Ronald Acuna Jr. due to lower back tightness. I am not wishing injury on anybody in the league, but Juan Soto is definitely deserving of being there. It is insanity that he could have over a 900 OPS for the season. Not June, not July, the whole season. He is in the top 10. I'll have to check where he is at the very moment. There's still some games going on right now in baseball, but he has just been raking, and it's insanity that he is not in this game. Let's continue on with the recap of tonight's game, because I want to dig into some other stats and figures from the game. Here is the box score of the offensive box score from tonight. Again, just a well-rounded, team win all around. 2 hits for Nimmo. Of course, I mentioned the big home run for Lindor. Soto with the 3 hits. Alonso had 2 hits and a homer himself. Quiet night for Jesse Winker, but I would say his presence in the lineup definitely can have some impact there. Vientos has continued to struggle. More on that momentarily. I'll just mention that he was pinch hit for by Jankowski in the 9th inning, or the 10th inning rather. Excuse me. Jankowski sent up to sacrifice bunt. Could you imagine last year with Vientos being red hot and having a great season, especially down the stretch and into the playoffs, being pinch hit for? with runners in scoring position in a clutch situation and extra innings. So it is pretty sad to see how far he has fallen. Although he did hit a ball pretty well to right field earlier in the game that I thought maybe had a shot of doing some damage off the bat. A quiet night for McNeil. Torrens continues to struggle. The Mets are not getting much offense from catcher, but that would be the only concern in terms of where offense is coming from these days, because the Mets are definitely getting it from everywhere, really, and tonight is definitely a sign of that. Beatty also had a couple of hits. Mauricio had the big home run that sparked the comeback initially, and he also made a great defensive play. So just well-rounded win for the team. Just happy to see that for sure. I have a couple of other stats and figures here and quotes. Here's Lindor. Quote after the game, per SNY, he gave me an opportunity to see every pitch. Literally, that's what I told him when I scored. You set that up. That was a very professional at-bat. Francisco Lindor talking about Nimmo's at-bat before his home run. Again, speaking to the team element, the team game, you always see that leadership from Lindor. Whether he gets a hit, whether he makes an out, especially in the first inning of games. Well, what he Nimmo's passing it on to him. Now that Nimmo's coming up before him. When Lindor was leading off, he would give tips about pitchers to the ensuing batters coming up after him. So just that team atmosphere, that team camaraderie, the chemistry, and they're just on top of it. They're very engaged, and that's just great to see from Lindor and from the team, the leadership and the camaraderie and the teamwork. That's what this video I'm making currently is all about, really, that the lineup is starting to come together, and it's diverse, it's versatile, it's deep. If they can get anything from catcher, that will be even a huge plus for the team. If they can get anything from Vientos, that would be a plus. But Mauricio and Beatty, I think we're going to see more and more in the starting lineup with Jeff McNeil in the outfield, because besides Vientos in the catching position, Tyrone Taylor is somebody who's definitely been struggling a lot lately, and his playing time should diminish as well. And McNeil should get more and more time in center field. And McNeil I may have to make a video about McNeil and his versatility, because that is just so impressive what he's been able to do in center field. And I feel like he's when he made that catch, robbing the home run in center field fairly recently, I feel like that it earned him a new amount of respect. It's a benchmark as an outfielder, in terms of his defense. It shows that he's really reached a level where he's a great, he's a great versatile player, but he's a very, very good outfielder. That may even be an understatement, to be honest with you. He's a great fielder, but he's very good to excellent at every single position, and that's what enables Mendoza to really be that versatile with his lineups and his position choices with the fielders. Here's a quote from Huáscar Brazoban, who actually got the save, coming in the 10th inning after Diaz was in the game earlier. Even if you do reach a low point, you can always bounce back, because you know the type of player you are, you know the type of talent you have. That's Huáscar Brazoban, who's been pretty damn solid throughout this season. He's had his moments for sure. There in the picture here with per SNY's tweet with Alan Suriel, his translator. So definitely great to see him come on, because when you come in the game, when one comes in the game in extra innings and you're a pitcher, you got a runner on second base already, so it's automatically a stressful situation. You're automatically entering a dirty inning as is, which has really changed the dynamic in baseball since this rule has been put into play. But what a victory. What a victory for the Mets. I want to talk a little bit about Mauricio as well, Ronny Mauricio, because he had that big home run from the left side of the plate, crushed to right field. So let's take a look at a quote about Mauricio. This is from Colin Martin of SNY. Game MVP, Ronny Mauricio. Defensively, Mauricio helped the game stay tied at 6-6 in the bottom of the 8th by getting the force at third base and making a bullet throw to Alonso, who kept his foot on the base. Call confirmed at the Orioles challenge for the inning-ending double play. Despite the heroics from Lindor, Alonso, and Soto, it was Mauricio who sparked the offense with a solo homer and made a clutch double play in the 8th inning. Soto would close second with 3 hits, including his 10th inning clutch single to give the Mets the lead, a lead that they kept, of course, and they held on for the victory in the bottom of the 10th. Just the fact that it's debatable who was the MVP of the game just tells you how much this really was a team win overall through and through. Just very happy to see this go down tonight. And I also wanted to look here at the pitching. Clay Holmes did not have his best game despite having 5 strikeouts and only 1 walk in the game. But everyone else after him held it together, held the fort. Only one other run allowed by Carrillo, making his debut for the team. Diaz got the win. Look at that sparkling 1.75 ERA for him. Of course, I mentioned Brazoban coming in, getting it done. Everyone else, for the most part here, Lovelady not allowing anything. Garrett not allowing any runs to come across. They were down 6-2 in this game, and they won. So what a great victory for this team. The lineup is balanced. They are deep. They are dangerous. The league should be afraid if the Mets can get anything out of catcher and Vientos and Tyrone Taylor. They're going to be that much more dangerous moving forward. But what do you guys think? Is the Mets lineup set? Are they peaking right now? Are they ready to go on a big roll before the All-Star break? Like I asked in my last video, how many games will they be ahead of the Phillies by the All-Star break? We shall see. Please like, comment, share. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's talk soon, and let's go Mets.